Good morning, ladies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Zuku Was a Tokyo Ghoul. Only him one. So, in this alternate timeline, whoever is like, it's basically Tokyo Ghouls are the most powerfulest person can survive. But in this What If, the only people that have like that black and red eye, this eye right here, this eye right here, is they are now classified as the newborn like ghoul. So basically like Tokyo Ghoul. So no one has this ability in this What If except for Zuko. And I'm throwing Zumi in this What If. So, yeah. So, let's start things off with Zuko and Zumi being born. Zuko was born with the same from canon, and Zumi was born the same. So, yeah. And I also forgot, whoever's a Tokyo Ghoul, they must eliminate that Tokyo Ghoul before they become the full-fleshed, out real ghoul. And you know what those are? Those are upgraded versions from the Tokyo Ghouls. Yeah. But Zuko has the powers of Infinity and Zero and Tokyo Ghoul. So every time he goes up, so now at the age of 4, they go to the Quark Doctor, and the Quark Doctor says that Zuko is quarkless. Yes, and Zumi has a quirk. So the parents decided to keep Zumi away from Zuko. And yeah, they tortured him to the point of no return. Yeah, they kind of go a little bit dark for this What If thing. As, yeah, Zuko been mostly tortured most of his life from age of 4 to 15. As then they abandon him. So he doesn't talk to anyone. He doesn't even talk either. He's so quiet. He'll probably be right next to you without you even knowing he's there. Yeah. So, yeah. And his hair turned white. And because all of his stress goes to, yeah. But he looks at himself. Imagine in the abandoned warehouse. Like, there was no villains anywhere. So when he looked, um, or he was, as he sat down, kneecaps crossed, as everyone didn't even really care about him. As everyone hated him. But then his eye turned earned black and red as he gets so like corrupted. So but Zumi does the same thing. The not corrupted, but she goes to UA and does all that. I'm doing a time skip that to All Might versus All for One. All Might was down bleeding. As Zuko sees him, as he opens one side of his eye, and as, yeah, Zuko has evolved into a monster with unlimited power as he goes in all as he goes jumps all the way to the All for One, or like he was, or actually before he says that, or actually, let's say he was in his monster form when when the laser hits him instead of All Might, because he was standing in front of All Might. As he says in a deep, dark voice of, guess it's my turn, hasn't it? As Zuko goes, as All Might couldn't believe that one of the Tokyo Ghouls is actually helping him winning. As he goes in, does like the same thing, as he beats over like All for One with enough force to send him flying, all the way to the other side of the city. As he goes, and yeah, as he goes crazy, as his monstrous form evolved further and further to the point of no return. As he says that, and I will track every single one, and I'll make them all pay for what they done to me. you're just the first villain that I will make sure that, yeah. And you will never see a light of day again. All for One. As All for One is kind of getting creeped out. Like, under his mask, he's sweating, eating bullets. Like, yeah, as this kid and was so powerful as he like now burn. As yeah, All for One stood no chance against Zuko Midoriya in his monster form. Yeah. He ripped All for One's head with a spine attached to it right off of his body. As he says, "Now, I'll put your head on a stick, or on the metal rod." As he puts it right to there. And I forgot to mention, in this What If, during the age of 7, there's this guy called Nigan and like Makia thing. Well, before he became like the big monster guy, like how will I put this? The big guy, aim, like he walks around, kind. He actually was the same age as what Zuko was, but he got cast out too because of the quirk. They all thought he was gonna turn into Tokyo Ghoul, but turns out he had a giant quirk, not a Tokyo Ghoul quirk. Sorry if I talk low. It's literally my throat. So, yeah. Zuko, in his monster form, came back to the crime scene. Or actually, he was on top of the building, waiting for someone to put him out of his misery. But he felt there's something a little bit off in his own stomach. As he thought he's hungry. But turns out, let me tell you, the audience, he was, because his infinity and zero gave him like his own like kind of like a cloning thing, but way more like giving birth thing. So he's pregnant basically. So he when the newscast saw or had a camera, or when they videotaped the entire fight between Zuko and All for One, and it went spiral, all over the social media, that as Toga, or all the villains, like League of Villains, did escape him. And when Toga saw what happened to All for One, she could not believe that Toga or every single villain was acting like what Toga is. Yeah, like a disgust. And heard him say that the I will track every single one of you down, down. Um, all the villains and will be good as dead, corrupting a spirit. Yeah, it's all the villains was as a monster looks at them. As the monster says, they're just people doing that stuff. You guys will live. But the villains will die. Hey. And it's been like so long so that no one even remembers who he was. He only him can remember it. But he hasn't been himself since transformed into a monster. As everyone has locked their doors, closed their windows, like barricade them in their own house. And yeah, it was terrifying seeing, or like, just a picture your head, or picture the in your head of All for One's head, like, oh, sorry, picture All for One's head on a metal rod, like that MK11, where Spawn walks in with a separate head on like a stick thing. Yeah. So, as everyone is so scared to go outside without him even. So the pro heroes and the detectives, like policemen, are trying to find and bring him to justice, but it was too late. The underground Zuko found them, found all the villains, and you know what he did? He killed every single villain that was there, taking them, ripping them to shreds, eating the rest like their quirks. Her, her, as it as now there's no villains left. Zero. Yeah. Everything. Only villains that were alive that wasn't in the underground area was Toga, Twice, Warp Guy, Shiraki-sen, Magnus. Basically the main cast. And as the villains, yeah, you could see their blood on him. Like, yeah, on around his face. Yeah, it terrifies him. But there was, as when he was in the abandoned, like, hotel thing, he randomly gave birth to a young girl. Like a young daughter. The one that you see before you, that girl, the one, yeah. She has, she basically has a quirk that keeps, and she doesn't have the same thing as her father does. Like, the corruption. Yeah. So basically, she can, but she's immortal, so she can never die either. So yeah. So basically, he wants his daughter to live a happy life. So over years have passed. A young happy girl walks to the normal school, like age of 4 thing, and he looks, as it reminds him of how much he has changed a lot. Not since, yeah. He wants to see his daughter be happy and live a normal life. But he just wants he just wants his own family to experience this foundation. And as the Quark Doctor pops out of nowhere, as he says that, or because it was in the abandoned area, so he gets teleported, or so the the quirk doctor got teleported to there, as he already knew who Zuko was, as no need to. Oh, I know who you are, Zuko. You were corrupted and by your parents. And but you are Danny. I know how you feel with all this hatred for everyone. Um, 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 but please hear me out. You want to be back to normal. Um, as Zuko stops attack and he starts to tear up as he couldn't, as he wants, as he uses his deep dark voice, he says, I want on, on to be with my Hayes sister and my own family. And now, if they see me now, I wouldn't be able to regain their trust. I already lost their trust once. And you know what it got me? All these, you see, who I became. I didn't just become a normal grim or the Tokyo Ghoul. I became the more advanced version, and I became the king of the ghouls. And thanks to them, now that my power has succeeded to growing, and but now I don't know anymore who I was or who I am. It's like corrupting me from the inside. He That's why, as the villains were, or as the Quark Doctor says that you're okay, Zuko. The I know that with all this power, you can basically, yeah, Zuko, um, you know, blames himself so much for being like quirkless and having he's very confused as a Quark Doctor, or actually Zuko tells the Quark Doctor, there's one question. Am I really quirkless? Zuko, it was as a lie. And that I did to you. You actually did have a quirk. Her, it was called elemental manipulation. Because you, who you are very now too powerful. I know that you're too strong with only 3 abilities. I needed to lie to you so that you can protected. Okay? But but your father and your mother didn't see it at first because you're too strong to or too powerful to have a normal quirk with those abilities of yours. And Zuko was basically is he said wasn't quirkless at all. Yeah. As he starts to tear up, as he wants to oh, as a young girl pops out of nowhere. As she goes up, um, um, to him, or goes up to her father, and her father, or she wants to get some hugs from her hand, as he does, as give her a hug, as he's happy to have a sister, or no, a daughter on her. As the quirk doctor says, "Who's this girl?" Oh, wait. Oh, her name is Zilly. Say hi, Zilly. And she says, hi. In the high pitched voice, hi. Like a girly voice. Yeah. So, yeah. So the quirk doctor. So now it was overhaul fight thing. And the, of course, during the meeting thing, here, during the meeting thing, like, there was one meeting that talks about the if the villains get to this like this advanced version of Tokyo Ghoul version, it's gonna be all over for us villain or for us heroes. As they asked him, "What's so special about the what's with the quark bullets?" The quark bullets are just like they say it's something. It's like a similar to cannon. If they, as he says, has a something to do with it. So yeah, But then at the conference room, they're trying to discuss on the Zuko or the military or the Zuko situation. The as they can't believe that the he's only going after the villains, not the citizens or heroes. As All Might says that. But why? Well, oh, well, we believe that Zuko or this guy has no interest in anyone but the villains. And Zuko, or his real name, is Zuko Midoriya. As let's say Asashi was there, and when Asashi heard, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Give me a moment to find Asashi because this, yeah. I do have pictures of Asashi thing, but it's not on my like phone thing. So yeah, when Asashi had or a 10 that would be like Asashi. Well, he could not believe that the guy or the monster's name is like Zuko, but they all called him advanced, like not Todoroki, but the Tokyo Ghoul. Yeah, as everyone was like, so this kid had, or this guy has a name. When he only oozed, oozed, like he wasn't going for any other one. Yeah. As the bunny girl suggests, how about making him join us? Might sound crazy, but if he's going after all the villains, like killing them without harming the citizens, I see that as an opportunity to like become much more than just a kid. And well, you're basically asking a murderer that killed all for one on to who join our team. As All Might remembers that Zuko said that they're just citizens. Citizens. As he was, as All Might was looking, or they knew, he knew that he's talking about the cameraman and not the villains. Ones. And so Yeah, so then now the overhaul fight thing in this thing, overhaul was, or actually, before heroes even got to there, Zuko, who jumps right in and straight up kills every villain. Yeah, he killed every villain that was known to man. As he goes down, um, as he remembers, as he typed in a correct code, as he killed Helm, like he literally killed everyone. As he goes down deeper, as Zuko sees Overhaul, as Overhaul sees him, as he says, the one who killed all for one. And, huh, well, I see a chunk of meat that has to be sliced up. Um, as Zuko goes in, dodges the Overhaul's attack, and he immediately Overhaul gets killed. Yeah, there was no chance and against this very powerful Zuko. You think Doomsday is like strong? Well, between both Zukus, I don't know who would win in that. Tell me in the comments below. Yeah. So basically, Zuko was. So he goes and kills the other guy, the one with arrowheads of like locks thing. And he looks down to where Ares was at. And she was scared out of her mind as he sat down with her and told her why that he was doing that. So he picks her up. Um, and he leaves. Ames. He was. Yeah. So Zuko was, as Ares asks why he, or like, who are you, and like, why did you do that? As he says, get to somewhere safe. So then he goes to his abandoned home thing. Or the, like, so he says to her that my name's Zuko, and reason why that I do this is not because of the thrills, the chills part, the like of killing villains. It's just to make everyone pay for what they have done, or making all those villains pay for what they done to us. Yeah, they as yeah. So that only narrows the like villains population thing all the way to zero, nothing, except for as he taught Ot, he taught Ares, not like he abuses her. No, no, no. Taught her how to like use her powers and stops them because he knew what rewind time works like. And so Ares was as she practiced and practiced. Yes. And when she did, she got a hang of it. And in this alternate timeline, where she was so happy to be like learn how to, as he was also, so he told his daughter that he's gonna teach the young kid how to use her powers. As she says, okay, mother, have fun. As did not mean to do that. So yeah, he basically taught her, or taught Ares, like instead of like abusing her, like what some people do. Oh, and she became more like practiced of using her quirk. So yeah, as she says, "You're her best, Zuko." That's yeah. As they both like, as she calms down, it makes him happy to be relied upon. As his skin went back to normal, as he was more relaxed than okay. As he says, I'm only human because the yeah. So his so he actually did tell his like daughter that he used to be human just like how she is, but then he transformed into a monster. Yeah, so please wait for part 2 to come out. I'm like talking so fast, so bye.